It's Tara. Today I'm talking about resiliency and revisiting the concept of being able to be uncomfortable and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Often we run away from negative experiences or emotions or anything that makes us feel lousy, anything that we're going to label as negative. And we really want to stop doing that. We want to be able to tolerate negative experiences and emotions and get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. These are opportunities and often areas of growth for us if we can move forward into them knowing that we're going to come out of them, knowing that we can withstand whatever is going to come out of that. And so that's a big part of resiliency. The other concept is that often people think that resiliency is not experiencing negative states or negative emotions or even being uncomfortable. And that's just not true, because we are human, and in this life we are supposed to experience the highs and the lows that come with whatever's going to come in events and experiences, and be able to tolerate both and be able to come back to baseline. And so it's not about being Stepford wives, husbands, robots, where we are only happy all of the time. That's not realistic. And that's not really authentic either, because there are times when we're going to experience sadness. We want to make sure that the highs and the lows are proportionate to the event, that they're congruent with whatever the experience is, that we're not out of range of what is appropriate or acceptable or healthy in terms of what we're experiencing. But real resiliency is being able to experience every human emotion that is available to us, congruent with the experience, and come back down to baseline, which is our centered, calm, relaxed self. And so I have an example, even just from my day today, where I had a really good morning with clients, and I was able to visit with one in session that has done so well, has moved through the therapeutic process so well, and is really moving into the fullness and joy in her life, which is what the goal is, not the absence of symptoms, but fullness and joy. And she's doing so well. And it was such an honor to sit with her and hear how much better her life is and how much healthier she is right now. And I was able to take the time I needed rather than rush past the positive. I know the importance of savoring those moments and grasping the purpose and the fullness and the satisfaction and the joy with her in that experience. And so I was able to carry that with me for most of the morning and into my afternoon. And then in my afternoon, I was triggered. I ran into somebody that had an engagement ring very similar to one that I had designed and had presented to me about 3 years ago. And so that relationship didn't work out, and it had to be dissolved. It had to end. And I remember taking that ring off, not being able to wear it anymore, and how difficult a time in my life that was. And that's what triggers are. They're going to happen in a minute. They're unexpected. They take us right back to that moment of feeling pain or sadness or whatever emotions we had then. In the past, I would have ran from that. I would have refused to allow myself to feel those negative emotions and that experience at all, and distracted myself. I spent lots of time in my life pushing through and refusing to feel things I didn't want to feel. I know now that that's not healthy, so I consciously bring awareness to these patterns in my life. I know that I can tolerate feeling those emotions. I'm not in that moment anymore. I have way more resources now than I did then. And so I can experience sadness. I can experience the sense of tears and that mourning that I had from the suffering I had then. And it felt yucky, but I was okay with being uncomfortable for a little while. I was allowing myself to have that experience in the moment. And then the key is, you don't want to stay there. You don't want to wallow and sink in it and have it change and ruin your day. I then started to look at what got me through that time and what made me stronger, what has increased my resilience, what has brought me to this time, and really focusing on where I am in this moment, how much more magnificent I feel now than I did then when I was in that moment. So that process of reframing is really an important part of managing your triggers. Allow yourself to feel the emotion and then reframe it. Start to create and bookmark these history of victories that you've already had, that you know about. This changes the whole process. I won't be triggered the same way the next time because of doing this kind of work. I was able to then bring myself back up to my baseline. Calm, centered, grounded. Didn't take that long, but I had to take the time to allow it to happen, knowing I can tolerate it, and knowing I'm a different place and a different person now, and that I'm better for it, and I made the best choice for my family, and really being able to allow that to imprint. And then moving on with my day. I got on with the day, and more good things happened, and I was able to really savor the best parts of the day up until this point in the day. I encourage you to bring awareness to your own process and your own patterns, and start doing these things when you feel triggered, when negative things happen for you. You want to experience those states, you don't want to stay in them. At the end of the day, make sure you're focusing on the best of the day. Savor the best parts of your day, so that's where you're ending, and then do the whole thing all over again. So again, resiliency, being able to come back to baseline, being comfortable with being uncomfortable. You can tolerate this, you can do this. It's going to increase your resiliency in the long run. I hope you're well. I hope you're having positive experiences that you're learning to savor. Until next time.